Today we're going to be talking a little bit about prisms and cylinders and how it relates to surface area and how to use their nets to discover that surface area. We'll go through names of prisms and talk about how you can use that to find the surface area as well. Make a rectangular prism from a net. So the sides of a rectangular prism are called faces. So those are all the sides of the rectangular prism. So here it says, how many faces does this rectangular prism have? So if we go through our big vocabulary words here, faces, these are the faces, all of the sides. Now the bases are going to be the bottom. So that's pointing to the bottom of the rectangular prism. It has 6 faces for a rectangular prism. The shape of the bases are going to be rectangles, and that's what helps us determine the name. What shape are the other faces? Well, those are rectangles as well. If we go over to this next part, going through the questions, we're going to use the rectangular prism on the right over there. What are the dimensions of the bases of this rectangular prism? And we have 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So the bottom of that part, we can see, we kind of have to use our imagination here. Picture that rectangle at the bottom. It's 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. What are the dimensions of the other faces? Well, they're not all the same. So 2 of them are 2 centimeters by 4 centimeters, and we can see that right here, 2 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Then the other part is the 2 faces are the 3 centimeters here by the 4 centimeters, because that height stays the same all the way around. So identifying prisms, what we can use is the base of the shape and use it to name the prism. So if we look at number 7 here up in the top left corner, the base is a triangle, so it turns into a triangular prism. If we go over here, that shape is an octagon. It's got 8 sides, so the name is an octagonal prism. Here, that's a hexagon, so you have a hexagonal prism. The base here is a rectangle, so then it turns into a rectangular prism. Something related to these prisms is cylinders. Now, cylinders are kind of special in their own way because they're rounded on the sides. The bases are at the bottom, and it doesn't have any flat surfaces. We see these all over in the real world, like soup cans, batteries, and even some buildings as well. So we have, this is a net for a cylinder. To make a cylinder from this net, you could do a few things. Just attach the ends of the rectangle and then add a circle on each end. So roll it up and then attach those ends and fold those in. Now, if we think about the circumference of a circle, the distance around a circle, that's going to be the same length as the length of that rectangle there. Another thing you're going to have to do today is find the surface area using the nets. So this really breaks it apart for us so we can actually see it in a 2-dimensional drawing. These nets form the prism, so start with there and then fill in the missing dimensions. And then that can help us find the surface area of each prism. So if we're given this, you may have to draw it on your own. But the surface area, we're given 8 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So we know that right across from that 5, we can fill in 5 because those are the same. And we know that this guy right here is a square. So all those dimensions right there are going to also be 5. Now this dimension right here is right across from that 8, which is the same length. So that's 8 centimeters. Here, this is part of this square, so that's going to be 5, and then we can fill in the rest based on what we see across from it or around it. So to break it apart, find the area of the square base. That's going to be 5 times 5, which is 25. The area of a rectangular face is 8 centimeters by 5 centimeters, which is 40 square centimeters. So to find the surface area, we figure out all of the area of the rectangles and multiply them by 4 because we see 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then we see 2 squares there, so multiply that by 2, add them up, and you get 210 square centimeters.